Hey, what's going on, guys? I got yet another offer to create a real estate property scraper, and this time I'm gonna be scraping willhaben.at, which is the Austrian based site, and it doesn't only have the real estate properties but also the cars and some job offers, so really lots of useful information like this kind of the categories. But I'm interested in this Immobilien. This stands for real estate property in English. Yeah, I'm gonna learn the German language, I believe, by scraping this German sites, the German language-based sites. So just like in Rightmove, and like this kind of site is really similar to UK-based Rightmove real estate property site, and you can search by some sort of postcode here, well, as always. And also, what is interesting that I'm not going to show you this in this video because it regards actually scraping the list of postal codes in Austria. But here, this code is implicitly converted using the API to some sort of this site-specific area ID and the parent area ID as well. So this kind of data is about to be scraped from the API, and this probably would be the topic of the next video coming after this. But in order actually to being able to get this kind of area IDs and parent area IDs in order to crawl through all the site, first obviously I need actually this kind of list of the postal codes to consider as to feed them to the initial scraper that would get the area IDs and parent area IDs as well. So let's just forget about this one for a while, and in this video in particular, this is going to be a very simple web scraping tutorial, so it might be considered as a beginner's friendly and so on. So I'm not going to be going through for complicated scraping framework in here. While obviously I will be using scraping framework when making the scrapers regarding the real estate properties itself. But here, as far as we're supposed to be crawling the only page in Wikipedia, and it's literally enough just to use the Requests and BeautifulSoup libraries to parse all this, guys. So we need both. We need actually the code, postal code, and I don't know, area, or how to call this, or sometimes it might be a city. So this is kind of it. So if you're interested, let's actually start writing some code. So let's copy the URL we're supposed to be extracting data from, and here in the current working directory I have a file called Austrian postcodes. So let's define what we're supposed to be doing in this script. So script to scrape Austrian postal codes from Wikipedia, and well, maybe just and yeah, by Code Monkey King, which is me. By Code Monkey King. Okay, so probably this would be slightly better, right? Just, I don't know, maybe this is not the best ever thing to spend your time watching how I purify this sort of initial kind of header in the source code, but I personally consider this to be pretty nice practice. So first we need to import some packages, and let's import requests, and from BS4 import BeautifulSoup. By the way, if you're interested in web scraping tutorials in Bird Pythons, you can see some videos regarding this topic. So I've taken some challenges on how to actually scrape something from the site without this Requests and BeautifulSoup libraries. So just the Bird Python standard libraries like URLlib and HTML parser. So that was quite challenging and interesting. So feel free to check that out as well. Okay, and now we need to make HTTP GET request to actually obtain the HTML source in return. So here I create the response object that would be equal to requests.get, and here I paste this kind of link this URL was supposed to be extracting data from. And next thing, we need to parse our content. So I create the content variable that would be equal to BeautifulSoup and response.text. So we're using this textual part of this entire HTTP request, and also I would like to use the LXML parser. Okay, now we can invoke the terminal in the current working directory, and of course if you don't have requests in BeautifulSoup and LXML installed, you should have done this by typing, well, if you're on Windows, probably just enough to say like pip install requests and then BS4 and LXML, but I'm on Linux. I have many pips installed, and I also need to use the sudo keyword, the sudo command, to actually make this as a super user. So I already have requests installed, obviously, and in order to install the BeautifulSoup, you just need to say install BS4 like this, and in order to install LXML respectively, just make it like this, and you're gonna be done after. So after you've installed all the dependencies, you can actually you can actually run this code without any problems. So as far as the content, the HTML content has been parsed, we can now actually try to extract the data we need. So let's just try to print our content just to make sure it's kind of what we need there. Okay, this is not needed at all, and okay, this is our current working directory. So I just say Python 3 Austrian postcodes.by, and yeah, here is the HTML response from the particular URL. So now let's have first let's actually try to inspect these elements. So we're looking for the list items only. I'm not sure how many user lists available over in here, so probably we should have go through all of them. I'm not really that kind of sure, so there doesn't seem to have any specific parameters. I just want to have a look at the source code just to see how many user lists available. Oh my god, so many user lists. Yeah, this is a kind of similar pain to what we got when we've been scraping German postcodes, basically. But you know, like I guess this time maybe we'll go slightly different way. Okay, if it just as far as I have this headers here, is this okay, it's h3. Okay, span headline. So yeah, I'm just thinking what would be the most efficient way of extracting this particular guys from here. So really lots of data basically, but I just, just before making this video, so I was just wondering, what if we just try to extract only those list items that have this space dash copy. Let me just see, is this a normal dash actually? Is this like, yeah, it seems like. So well, no idea whether it works or not, but let's try. So basically postcodes would be equal to content.findAll, and we're looking for the list item tags, and yeah, this is kind of it. So this would return us a list. So let's try to print our postcode. So basically, even better would it be like for postcode in postcodes print. I just want to have a new line after each of them. Postcode, okay, and now we'll see literally all the available postcodes. Yeah, and also I would like to extract the textual data from there. So using the list comprehension technique, I can say just like postcode for postcode in this content, and I just want to use only the text nodes here. So okay, and now, so it's really lots of data here, but we actually need only those postcodes that have this kind of element within its tags, basically. So I guess this would be the most efficient way of obtaining the reasonable list of this kind of guys here. I'm not yet really sure how. Okay, external Vienna, external links. Okay, so where this starts, let's say this one, 1010, where this starts from. Okay, perfect, so it just kind of goes over here. So I would try to say like if space dash space in postcode dot text, and just try to filter the list this kind of way. Okay, perfect. So it seems like it really kind of works. Well, not really exactly sure how to deal with this sort of guys, but still, well, I guess. But hold on a sec. Why did you consider this kind of guy here? It should have been available. Shouldn't be. Oh, nope. Probably trying. Well, actually, that's not really kind of that big deal here. I'm just wondering why it doesn't seem to contain exactly what I've been asking for. So we're just trying to limit this somehow. Probably doesn't work much. Yeah, this is slightly a bit strange, to be honest. I'm not really sure why this happens. Okay. But you know what, I just... What if I try to basically duplicate this kind of thing here, and just instead of looking in here, I'll be looking within the postcodes. So, is this trick gonna work? String object doesn't have the attribute text. Okay. Oh, so this is the reason. But why this? Maybe somewhere, well, I don't know why this happens exactly. Maybe if no spaces, then we can get rid of this, guys. Okay, if space not in postcode. Oops. Okay guys, so it seems like I've just found a way how we can extract only the data we need. So basically, okay, I just command this how to show you. So we're actually looking for only those elements that if you split this by the new line, by the empty space, you would get exactly 3 elements, right? So we don't need this kind of guys because, well, it's I believe this won't be parsed within that site we're looking for. So maybe this could be added, I don't know, like manually one day or something. Also, we don't need these guys without a description. So what fits at least my purposes, well, I don't know about somebody else's purposes, but at least regarding my purposes, I can simply say if the length of where I take the postcode and split it, so by default it splits by the empty space, and if it equals to 3 elements, well, in this case, see what we got here. So we just extracted exactly the data, exactly the data we need actually. So from this 1020 to up to, yeah, the very last kind of part here. So doesn't seem to be that much of postal codes there, but let me just try to see this visually. Well, this actually seems to be like kind of it, yeah. So there is not that much of that many postcodes there. So 9873, the last one, and yeah, this was ignored because, yeah, because we don't want this. Well, I'm just wondering, so probably we did get rid of these guys as well. So okay, maybe okay, maybe this would have been slightly better to include these guys as well. Yeah, now I like this pretty much, and I would also need to check this out if I would need to check that out if actually which one in particular would be referenced in the site I'm gonna be scraping real estate properties from. But well, generally it seems to be just kind of fine, and I guess so. Just in order to realize what in particular format I would like to have there, so I would just, so here just say extract postcode, postal codes. I slightly don't like this long line of code. I'm not sure, so probably this is not allowed by Python. Let me just, syntax error or something. No, it works. Whoa, does it really work? So can I just make it this like, perfect. So yeah, this is absolutely perfect. And even here can make simply like extract, and here we can simply say like filter postal codes, and that's kind of it. Okay, and now again, just in order to being able to define the proper way of storing this, guys, I just want to go back to, okay guys, just hold on a sec, I need to reference that site in particular. So copy and I just want to check that out regarding so if say I would take the bare postcodes, we just copy this, so probably I don't even need these guys, I guess. I'm not sure, but let me just try that as well. So inspect and network tab at the moment. So if I just paste, okay, so was it okay, 9861. Okay, it was taken as a return. So I'm just wondering the string word parameters. Yeah, so source, desktop, and term. So yeah, it's really similar to Rightmove. You know, like maybe like that was the same developers team who built the Rightmove and this kind of stuff. Not sure, just an assumption. But this string word parameters kind of arguments are probably, I'm not sure, but they seem to be the same like as they were in on Rightmove. Okay, so it's enough just to have the bare postal code. So in this case we can actually say split and just take the very first element. That's kind of it. So yeah, perfect. And the very last thing, so we need to write output to file. And as far as the data is really trivial, I would probably do this using the text file, right? So just say with open Austrian postcodes and .txt, we want to append the file stream, right? As f, and here we need to loop over a list of extracted postal codes, and here simply say like f dot write and postcode, and it needs to be followed by the new line. And okay, so let me try to run this again, and here is our file. Okay, yeah, perfect. So this is kind of it, and now we can use, well, this is slightly weird that we also have kind of, is this the range 74227423? Let's try 7243. Let me just grab this, copy and paste, so that we have something in here. Yeah, we do have it. So maybe a bit more post-processing is needed. So I'm just wondering how can I need to append these guys to, well, also I could have done this, I could have handled this just during, well, and these guys are not really that great, so, well, probably I will be already doing that later on, or, you know, like, I could have even do this manually, because it's not really that much of a problem, I guess. So okay, but this one seems to be the range, so let's say 53550. Okay, let me just see this. Paste. Okay, and if I say like 5351, Okay, this is not available for some reason. And 5359. What about this? It's not available as well. Well, so okay, I'm not sure how exactly am I supposed to go through this, but I think that this kind of like data is pretty enough to consider, basically, at least for my own purposes regarding this project. Okay guys, so I hope you learned something interesting out of this tutorial, so until the next time, and take care.